Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's Margaret Pinard. You have arrived at the channel for historical fiction and fantasy author moi, and it is the first Friday of the month. So, our tasks today involve organizing our May goals and celebrating April wins, perhaps, and just looking for company while getting work done. So, that's what we'll do here. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm Booktube, I'm AuthorTube, I'm interesting conversations with folks. So every first Friday and final Friday, I do a productivity stream, which is body doubling, which just means that if you want company that will encourage you to get done those things that never get done, then here we are. I usually go for 2 hours, and that's usually 3 sessions and then a little bit of chat in between. So that's what we have today. Last week we had our final Friday for April, and I had a guest on, Christy Stratos, and we were talking a little bit about historical fiction, but also about decluttering. So I started on a decluttering kick, and we were doing digital decluttering for author-related stuff. So that was really useful. It was a good start. Saturday I got books. Monday I got rid of a lot of books and bags and stuff. So like I'm in a decluttering mood, and I hope that helps anyone who's dropping in. Today I'm going to be working on Patreon postcards. I've got 5 done already. I got 2 more to go. And then content planning, and then character organization. So lots of things to get done today. If you're joining, let us know what you might be working on this morning, and we'll get underway. I did want to say, in addition to decluttering, with all that energy to like get stuff out and clean and let go of things, I feel that a good accompaniment to that is like self-care rituals. So I've been trying to, if I feel the need for holding on to something, bake instead, because that's something that has a limited time shelf life, right? And so I made these coffee cookies from the A Good Day to Bake cookbook, which I reviewed a couple months ago. And so far, everything from that cookbook that I have made, that baking book that I have made, is really good. So these were kind of like gingerbread cookies, so like thin, crispy, and instead of ginger, it was cloves, cinnamon, and coffee powder, espresso powder. And because I have only 2 cookie cutters, and they're not in the shape of gingerbread men, mine came out in this shape. Can anyone tell me what shape this is? It's a little messed up because of the dough, but like, it smells so good, y'all, the cloves and the cinnamon. What shape is this? It should be fairly obvious to an American. There we go. Yes, so I have a couple California cookies that I will be snacking on during my work today. But maybe that's a healthy idea for you if you're having trouble decluttering and letting go. Doing a little self-care ritual to pair with that makes you feel like held and comforted, like cookies. So just a thought. And we'll say hello to the chat. I think we've got Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff here first, saying, hey y'all, Georgia, welcome. Is the Georgia readathon just starting, or is it just ending? I know the last couple weeks I've seen you doing Georgia stuff, but I can't remember if it was limited to April. Esty Houston saying hi. Just got home from an appointment. Made friends with the like button. First we'll get some food, and then task list for Shannon is revising her work in progress, The Curse of Wings and Gems. Nice. And then we had that is a California cookie. I got this cookie cutter when I was living in Washington, D.C., and I thought, oh, it's a piece of home. So I still have it. Jim got it as well, right at the same time. Oh, okay, the Georgian readathon is for May, which is good, because you're doing all the prep, which is perfect. So well done. I hope it's off to a good start. The group read along book is called Ali and Nino. Nice. So if anyone is interested in the country of Georgia and has time in their May reading schedule, check out Jim's latest videos. May 26th is Georgian Independence Day. Nice. Shannon says I'm doing a make it through-a-thon. JK. I like it. I like it. It's done. It's in the books now. You're funny. You're funny. Okay, so we're gonna start off with an HK Darkwood timer. This is no music, no typing, just pretty picture. So let me change. There we go. A little bigger, maybe a little move down. And we're gonna do our first 20-minute sprint. I've got, oh, I forgot to put that up. So let's do that. And then I've got a question. So because I had my little California cookie timer, I just thought I'd ask, what's a sentimental thing you keep in your kitchen? Because I'm sure we all have something. I thought that'd be a fun question. And yeah, I'll leave that up for our first 20-minute sprint. Feel free to weigh in with what you're working on, or what you're decluttering, or the question of the day, and we'll get started. So 20 minutes, and I'll mute myself in 3, 2, 1. Okay. I didn't miss my cue at that time. That's good. That's good. I've got lots of comments to catch up on, which is also good. If you're just stepping in because we just came alive after a silent period, we just finished our first sprint. I think we did pretty good. I finished my last 2 postcards stamped. If you want to see what kind of postcards I sent, wait, nope, there we go. It's Caernarvon Castle. And the reason why I asked Jim is because he is familiar with Welsh things from being a resident of Aberystwyth for some time. We've got a famous person, if anyone can name that one. Cheerio. Cheers. Westminster. Why not? We've got some distinguished Western gentlemen in bowler hats. These are part of the vintage collection, although sometimes a modern one will sneak in, like Scotland, home of Outlander. Vintage from a thrift store, which is cherry blossoms in California, or actually almond trees probably. And then Jane Austen, another sneaking in modern one with a historical quote. So figured those are fun for my patrons. And so that beginning of the month task is done. For the next sprint, I'm going to focus on content planning and see if my brain will engage. So let me know what you guys got done. I'm going to catch up in the chat. The last thing we had that I didn't show was Jim promoting his Georgian readathon for May. Basically, read a book by a Georgian author, a book set in Georgia, or a book from Georgia in the USA. So he's really casting a wide net here. So it would be fun to play along. Sounds good. We had Jocelyn Carter come in and say hello. We had what Jim was reading currently for Georgia. And Jim said, oh, we had a question of the day. So the question of the day was, what's a sentimental thing you keep in the kitchen? Inspired by my California cookie cutter. And our answers were, Jim said my sentimental things aren't in the kitchen. They're on the bookshelf behind me, which fair enough. We had Leslie come in and say, I'm at work just vibing. I love it. Jim revised his answer to say, there are a few fridge magnets in the kitchen of various places I've visited. I have so many magnets, you guys. I have them on the fridge because I don't have that new fangled type of fridge that doesn't take magnets, which is a travesty in my opinion. I also have them on my washer dryer because that's magnetic too, and it brings me joy. So Kat Leo came in, said, heyo, hey Kat, welcome. Paget Farmer came in, hey. She says, tough day, but I'm here, man. Love it. If you're able to get stuff done, brava. If not, or if you're getting different stuff done and you can't like stay, that's totally cool too. You're getting the work done. You're accomplishing. You're celebrating that. Yeah, tough day, Jocelyn says too. Sorry to hear that, guys. It's Friday, so at least there's like hope of a reprieve for the weekend. So I guess hold on to that hope. Shannon's answer of the day, I have a few magnets. One my hubby got while in Hawaii. That is a Hawaiian flower that's also tattooed on me, which sounds like you weren't a willing participant. That's a little weird. Also, another magnet he got me is from my favorite movie with 3 short sentences. And I love this. She gets kidnapped, he gets killed, but it all ends up okay. And I was like, what? Wait, what? I don't know what movie that is. Do I know your favorite movie? I guess I don't. I mean, it sounds like an action movie, obviously, but also a love story. Maybe? Are you going to tell us? Are you going to tell us? Then I was teasing Jim about one of the postcards, Caernarvon Castle, I already revealed. And then Jim entered something in Georgian, so I don't know. Photograph, I guess, is the translation. Just Eva was coming in to say, hey. Love it. Nice to see you. Devin was here for a hot second. Going to hop out for lunch, but we'll leave this up for runtime. Appreciated. His guess was Ludlow. I don't know where Ludlow Castle is. Ludlow. I don't know if it's in the same neighborhood. But yes, you are correct. There are lots of castles that are similar in the UK. Devin did submit an answer of the day. I have a few vintage cups and several teapots. That sounds lovely. I may or may not have a problem. Oh, I love it though. Devin, vintage teacups and teapots and like the setup she has in the back of her live stream, like on point. I want a tour. I want a tour, Devin. So Leslie's saying hi and saying hi, no worries. Jim's saying Caernarfon is North Wales, Aberystwyth is Mid Wales. The investiture of Charles, Prince of Wales, later King Charles III, took place in Caernarfon Castle, North Wales, on 1 July 1969. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being the Prince of Wales for so long? I mean, I guess Victoria's son had the same really long, oh my God, 30, 50 years, Prince of Wales. That's crazy. All right, so tasks done. Shannon says 93 words added in revision during an 11-minute time period because I also spent time in Devin's chat as she finished up. Awesome. Jim booped the like button. James Wilson, just subscribed to your channel yesterday reading my first Stephen King book. Oh, nice. Stephen King, huh? I've only read one of his books and it was a nonfiction, so I can't direct you there, but I will celebrate your reading. Welcome. Oh, he gets killed. Well, okay, that's twisting it a little bit. Justiva says, I just sat down with some pizza. Pizza. You're in Eastern, you're in Central, so it's noon. Gotcha. Pizza sounds good. Leslie says, I thought the movie was The Professional. Which Stephen King book are you reading? Shannon's asking. Leslie says, pizza? Yes, please. Little O is on the Welsh border. Oh, okay, the Welsh marches, perhaps, if I'm not using that incorrectly. Borders are such interesting concepts. Oh, I'm going to talk about what I'm currently reading at the end, but just as this has come up, borders. I just started a book for Asian Readathon that is about identity and belonging and people who belong to different places. And it's about someone who was born in Tanzania, has lived in Kenya, has lived in Canada, and also ancestrally from Gujarat in India. And so, like, he's wrestling with all this stuff, and it's very interesting. So, if y'all don't know, that's like a little, I don't know, nugget or thing that I keep coming back to in my fiction is the idea of home and belonging. So, I am very interested in this author, M.G. Vasanji, playing with these concepts in nonfiction. Kat said, instead of writing, I'm typing up character sheets into a Word document for my nieces to play D&D easier. Nice. Okay. You know, I was just wondering if getting a printer wouldn't help my writing. I keep trying to diagnose like what it is and why I can't focus and like power through it. And I'm like, maybe it's this, did that, nothing changed. Okay, it's not that. Maybe it's this. If I get a printer, would it help? I don't know. I just got to keep experimenting, but yeah, we all love pizza. So, bon appetit, Justiva. Her answer of the day, other than magnets, nothing comes to mind. My kitchen is quite small, though. I mean, mine's an island and like an 8-foot wall that encompasses counter, stove, counter, fridge. So, I mean, it's not a boat kitchen, but it's pretty small. But I do have room for 2 cookie cutters. One is California and one is a snowflake. I don't know. They sort of answer all situations, in my opinion. Oh, okay. So James Wilson just started Under the Dome. I don't know anything about that one. That's not one of the more famous ones, as far as I know. So hope it's good. I bet it's long. So you probably have a long journey, and reading sprints may help. So yeah. Just even says that's a thick boy book. I wasn't wrong. here we go. Yeah, let us know if you like it. Jim says, past 9 p.m. here. Yes. At least it's not midnight. At least I'm not impinging on your sleep routine. So yeah, I'm happy that my sprints are a little earlier for you. The character sheet sounds really fun, Kat, says Shannon. I used to write plays for my brothers, cousins, and I to put on for the adults. That's adorable. That's very Little Women. Like, very cute. Yeah, when they were kids. That's fun. Jessiva says, one of my favorite writers on Instagram is reading Under the Dome. It's a small part of what she's doing, and she's not a published author, I don't believe. I just like how she's herself. Hannah Johnson writes. Nice. Yeah, you got to bring all the different parts of you that you want to share, and people will connect. I like that. Random thing, and I like name dropping randomly. LOL. Yes, we support that here. Play acting the D&D. Well, I mean, role playing is sort of play acting in a way, right? That would be fun. Jessiva, I also just fixed my printer today. It's all thanks to my 6-year-old. I was ready to toss it. My printers always break, but no, it's fixed. A tiny set of Post-its had slid into the back. Oh my God. Wow. Well done, 6-year-old rescuer. Oh man. Mine wouldn't connect even when I plugged it in, so I donated it to the electronics. I'm sure they can find someone, but I don't have a friend to ask to do that, so I just gave it up. That's why I'm considering a new one. Kat says, no, we're actually doing a D&D campaign. I don't know if that involves play acting. I've never done D&D. Jim says, my favorite Stephen King is The Long Walk, but he isn't a go-to author for me these days. Good recommendation, though. I like to exchange those. Jessiva says, we've already printed several things for the child to do. Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking that I would end up printing things that would look pretty and be the equivalent of like Canva on social media, just on paper. And I thought, I don't want to enable myself in that way. So that's why I'm holding back until I actually need something on paper. But yes, for a child, that's a good idea. Oh, Jim says, All Flesh is Grass by Clifford D. Simak is similar in concept to Under the Dome, a town enclosed in a dome like what happened in the Simpsons movie. Is it like Biodome? That's the only reference I have, which is like a Pauly Shore movie from the 90s. Not good. You got Post-it attacked. Yeah, they can get in everywhere. Hi, Mrs. Peacock. Well, welcome. We need to get started on our second sprint soon, so as soon as I catch up with the chat. The paper wasn't going through, but it was doing everything else right. It was wild. Tech frustrates me quickly. I had already given up. Same. King is my king. LOL, my favorite author. Oh, lovely. So to you folks enjoying Stephen King. Love it. Kat is clarifying. D&D involves role play and dice to determine success on certain actions. So far, it is fun and a way for me to hang out with the older 4 nieces. Nice. That's art, Margaret. Creating things you can hold that are on canvas. Yeah. But like, yeah. I don't know. I was about to say something that was going to get me in trouble. Okay, continuing on. I'm going to chew on that for a little bit. We're saying hi. Jim says, and all flesh is grass. The book follows a small town in Wisconsin. It's closed off from the outside world by a mysterious barrier placed by extraterrestrial beings. Interesting. I hope that wasn't a spoiler for Under the Dome. Okay, and then Mrs. Peacock will be reading Carrie this morning. King is my king indeed. Yeah, Josiva says, I like King's thrillers, and I have DNF the horrors I've tried from him. Yeah, thin line. They might do a better job marketing which is which, in my opinion. Right? It's hard to tell for me when I look at a Stephen King book. Okay, let's pull this back up and go to the next one, which is, I think, an SD Houston timer. And we're going to get an ad, and we'll go 2, 1, skip. Sorry, Shannon. So let's go 20 minutes and power right with the right mushrooms. I love the mushrooms. Okay, so I'll mute myself. We'll go for 20 minutes. Good luck with your tasks and see you in a bit. 2, 1. Beep. Ooh, I like this one. This looks like a hobbit hole. Okay, we're back. We just finished our second sprint and we're a little over halfway because we had a lot of chatting to do, and I guess I'm gonna have a lot of chat to catch up on. Let's see, finished my postcards. I got rid of 3 more books. So as I said, I'm doing a lot of decluttering right now, and there are piles of books everywhere. I got rid of a little pile that was books that need to be resold, and I need to undo the corners on them. So I unfolded the corners, put them in the bags. And then I started on some magazine work. So that is me. Let's see. Where did we end off? I think it was me laughing at Eva's comment. And then Eva said, that's art. Creating things you can hold better on Canva. Yeah, I mean, pretty things you like are pretty things you like. Art is just a term I use in place of that, right? That was my start comment. That's where I left off. All right. So then we're talking a lot about Stephen King in the chat. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Shannon said, I've DNF'd everything King except his nonfiction. Mrs. Peacock is giving hearts. Leslie snuck off to the local coffee shop to drop off some books. Excellent. Justiva is mentioning The Green Mile and Insomnia and 11/22/63, which she liked, as well as On Writing. Yep, I do have On Writing. But I'm a sucker for a memoir or creative nonfiction piece. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's across the board good. Justiva says 11/22/63. I loved parts and really disliked other parts. Disclaimer. Jim says On Writing is good. I really liked The Long Walk and The Shining. Recent King I haven't liked so much, like Cell. That's a terrible title. Laura Gomez, hello. Are you known in these circles as Better Laura? I seem to think that's your moniker. Misery is my fave King novel. Kind of have to like that one as a writer. I don't know. Do you? Do you though? The Long Walk is so chilling. Love that one. Justiva says I watched Misery, but DNF'd the book. Same with most of his horror. Justiva says I haven't read anything newer of his though horror-wise. What's the newest horror you all loved? And Laura says the movie is great too. I actually did like Cell, although it's probably not even recent. Justiva says I really only read short horror. I haven't tried any long fiction horror in ages. Tommy Knockers maybe was the last one I DNF'd. Justiva says, was The Cell also turned into a film? Because one of the first dates I had with my husband was a horror film, The Cell. Oh my gosh, that would be a while ago. Laura says, I loved his short story, The Jaunt. I still think about that all the time. Yeah, I think The Cell was a film. The book was better. Interesting. I don't remember the film too much, just that it was one of our first dates. Did it have John Cusack, maybe? 23 plus years ago. Yeah, my memory is bad. 23 days ago. Holy crap, I don't think the Cell book is that old, is it? Yeah, it's a pretty common title, so I think there may be 2 unrelated Cell movies. I think that's a fair guess. Jim says Cell is a 2006 apocalyptic horror novel by Stephen King. So 23, 2001, so it can't be the same thing. That's 5 years different. Shannon is in to say 121 words added in revision. Well done. Laura says, doesn't everyone want to be kidnapped by their biggest fan? Maybe that will be our next question of the day. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So there we go. There we go. We've done 2 sprints and a question of the day. If you've got questions for me, pop them in the chat. I'm reading. I'm decluttering. You guys, Sunday is going to be a wrap up. And I've got this many books to wrap up. So, you know, your girl was diving in and escaping reality through reading. Relatable. Yeah, so I'm excited for that on Sunday. I did have a couple things I wanted to let people know if they didn't see them. My latest two live streams were recommendations videos since I like doing like themed lists. And the last one was for labor fiction because it was May Day, May 1st, International Workers' Day. So I did a little bit about why I like researching the labor movement, why I'm putting it in a book, and like some of the great fiction that inspired me to do so, even though I don't have a history of like knowing about unions or trades or any of that kind of stuff. So like I'm really starting from ground zero. And but I thought it was important to celebrate, and so that was my last live stream. The one before that was for Asian Readathon. If you haven't been on Booktube, maybe you don't know, Reads with Cindy used to be her name, and now it's just with Cindy because she's bigger than books. She's pretty huge. But she still does Asian Readathon, and it's just wide open. It's read any book by an Asian author. And the way she has it organized over on Storygraph is every single country and nation, that's not necessarily a state, um, has a prompt, but you can just choose any one. And I think it's great. It's very inclusive. And then I have a list of recommended books that I have read in that category, as well as some that are on my TBR, pile of possibilities for May. So that is what I've just popped into the chat. Labor fiction video, labor fiction list on Bookshop, which is an affiliate link. If you buy the books, like they take a little percentage out of the Bookshop profit and drop it in my little tip jar. And then Asian Readathon Rex, same thing for the month of May. Does Georgia count? I know like Azerbaijan does. I don't know. Maybe Jim can look it up on Storygraph and let us know. And then there's my rec list on Bookshop. We had a Felicia drop in. Good to see you all. Hey, Dreaming Truth author. Lovely to see you. For a whole week, a series of famous keening women kept up a wailing and lamenting that never stopped. I used to note strange words that I found in books, like keening, because I thought I would do some sort of social media project where I like snapped or like a post or something, but I eventually stopped because like I didn't ever do anything with it. I don't know. I don't know if people would find that interesting or just like weird. So I just stopped. Love a good keen. Yeah. 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 And you know, it's funny, bringing the keening, another historical fiction, to the fore. Brian on Bookish did a thoughtful revisiting of the historical fiction genre the other day, last week actually, and I commented on it, and I thought it was fun because like people have an immediate association with historical fiction as a genre, but then sort of put gates around literary fiction that is historical or like fantasy that is significantly historical. There's a lot of historical fantasy out there that people like are just like not realizing, right? Like Babel history was needed in the making of that book. So don't uh, knock it until you've like thought about it, is I guess what I would say. Historical fiction. Yeah, Georgia is in Western Asia, but identifies as Europe. Well, I don't know. I'd say read for both. Ooh, okay. And the book that Jim is reading, Ali and Nino, for the group read along, is about the conflict between Europe and Asia and Azerbaijan. Wow, on the nose on that one. Okay, I didn't realize that. A timely book then. Um, I'm gonna try to do two more sprints because this seems to be going well. So, let me queue up the next one. Actually, let's see if I could just use Shannon's and just move the cursor along a little bit. Oh, the hobbit hole went away. Now we're back to mushrooms. Why does that happen? All right, well, we're gonna do some of this. Why does it do this? No? 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 Nope. Okay, we'll just settle with that one. Um, 20 minutes. I'll see you, and I'll mute myself and let me know what you're working on. 2, 1. Break time. Ah, okay. Pause that. Down again. It seems to be getting loud. But maybe I'm just getting quieter. How did you do? How did you do with our third sprint? I did some more magazine stuff. I did some AWC stuff. I didn't mention before. Sort of did some planning stuff and thought about goals and didn't get very far, but hey, we're focusing. It's good. It's good. So I want to do one more sprint and then we'll probably spill over for the chat, but then at least I think I can get my goal planning gains consolidated. So, we had a cat paw pop in to vote the like button. Cat paw Rosales just posted on Instagram about a last blog post, so I have that on my list to go read. Unfortunately, got the allergy and far too foggy to even read. Happy sprinting. Ooh, I'm sorry. It really is super annoying and frustrating when allergies stop you. I know. I was doing content planning, as I said, sort of. Jim says, Baku is a city divided. The old walled town has traditional ways, Sharia law, and narrowed streets. The new sprawling city, built with oil money outside the wall, is more European in style and custom. Yeah, that makes it really obvious. Pretty divisive sounding. Paget says, hey, sorry I fell into an editing hole, which I guess is technically what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, of course. All editing feels like a hole until I reach the end of a chapter. Agree. Agree. And right now, Paget, actually, that's the same with me where I am with characters. I keep trying to focus on what is this character's backstory so that I have them in the right place and have them the right motivations and like I don't have it all in one place. I have events on the wall, I have people on a board, and they just keep like vanishing from my mind. So I need to focus on that once I'm done here. Jim's telling us about the book he's reading, Ali and Nino. It's about the differences between Orientalism and colonialism. Interesting. Two young people who fall in love from opposite sides of the divide. Ali is an Azerbaijani boy with Persian customs, and Nino is a Georgian girl with European outlook in the time before World War One. Oh, it's historical fiction. Love it. Janet says, finished a chapter, started revising another, added 113 words. Way to go. Jocelyn says, I'm back. My brain is in a total fog. Yeah, suggest a cup of tea and like a little self-care ritual and a deep breath. Like, yeah, feeling like you're in a fog is part of the process. And I hope it doesn't affect your wellness. I'm drinking barley tea at the moment, so it's a bit different. Let me get the timer ready for the last sprint here. I did get a new one. I put a couple new ones on, so I thought this would be neat. It's a Wright Holly Davis timer, and I'm gonna wait for the insurance commercials to finish, and then some beauty product commercial we can do without that too. Okay, let me pop it up. And I just thought this looked really lovely. I'm going to turn this up because I think this comes with deep focus music and I don't want it to compete. We're going to do one last 20-minute sprint. Let me find the 20 minutes right there. And enjoy. See you in 20. Well, that was sort of disappointing to have two ads pop up in a 20-minute sprint. But I guess we wouldn't know until we tried it, right? So, let me do that again. Final round. That was our fourth sprint. It did have light through leaves, but like I said, ads. I give it all I got. I lost my brain power on the last one. I'm pretty done. I need to take a lunch break. Paget Farmer said, still in chapter 10 with these dev edits. He had a lot to say here, but in his defense, it's a dense chapter. All right, here comes all the things. Maybe she's muted us. I don't know. We'll see. Nicole's book is Nook dropping by to say hi. There's me apologizing for the ads, forcing your eyes to see that. Blech. Jim missed the ads. Well done, Jim. Shannon got 226 words added in revision. Nice. That's a lot of words. Are you working on a similar kind of chapter to Paget? Dense? I don't know. I don't know. So, as a conclusion here, since we're running a little over time, and I just wanted to chat at the end, I had a couple of announcements, and then I just wanted to share current reads that I was loving. So I put into the chat the link to our full schedule. So the last live stream we had with all the co-chairs of the AWC was about the full schedule and first page critique panel. So basically, if you're a writer and you want to have a page or two critiqued, you can submit anonymously and maybe your work will be chosen to be critiqued live during the conference by experts. So if you want to be part of that and get the benefit of free advice from experts in the field, that is the link. So first page critique submissions are open, and that's the link. You'll get all the information if you click on that. That was dropped during the live. So that is the announcements and current reads chat. So as you may know, well, as you may know, what am I doing? My math is running while my brain is not turned on. So I already mentioned the M.G. Vasanji book, which is called Nowhere Exactly. So let me share that just so you guys get a visual. I just have two here. Boop. So I just started the audiobook because I hadn't done an audiobook in a while. And this is for Asian Readathon. It's a Canadian author with ethnic roots in Africa and Asia. So Nowhere Exactly on identity and belonging really caught my eye, and I've listened to the first hour and change, and really interesting. So home and belonging is a theme that I return to in my fiction and a few times here on the channel to discuss with people. And I think just like labor fiction, it's one of these things that when you talk about it with other people, you can find that you have similar experiences and vastly different reactions, or very different experiences but similar emotions. And I find that really fascinating, and I think it's helpful to discuss with people, share. And then the other book I started was from the library. It's called Consider the Lilies by Ian Crichton Smith. It's from 1968, I believe. It's based in Scotland, written by a Scottish author, and it's about the clearances. And you can see I have a tag here from Miranda Mills. She's a big booktuber who I don't necessarily follow anymore because the things that she was sharing weren't really my speed. The genres got a little derouted from my preferences, but she's really sweet. She does fun projects and fun readathon challenges, and so that's how this got on my list. I wouldn't have known about it otherwise. So yeah, it's a clearances book, which I didn't come across when I was researching. So I just started it, and it's very simple. It reminds me of Two Old Women, which is about Indigenous Inuit women, I believe, and as well as what's the other one? It's just about elders in any culture and really simple language. There's an Irish one that I'm trying to think of that I can't remember. Anyway, uh, so those are my current reads. What are you guys currently reading? As I said, I had that whole pile that I'm going to go through on Sunday for a wrap up because a lot of it's library, a lot of it's like escapist reading. What are you reading? I've definitely got some labor fiction and some Asian reads on my list, but there's probably going to be some more escapist reading because that's what we need these days, and that's okay. Yeah. What about you guys? I heard Stephen King earlier. Please let that not be the only other author mentioned in this. Give me some. Give me some. What are you reading? Um, all right. So Shannon says The Star Glass Girl by Sylvia Mercedes. That sounds like fantasy. That sounds pretty cool. I haven't heard of it. Is that an indie author? See, Shannon's coming with the Rex here. Serpents of Sky and Flame by Rebecca Kenny. That sounds suspiciously similar. It's gonna be a romantasy or a fantasy romance. Also King of Darken by Julietta Norwood. Now that author name sounds familiar to me, but the title does not. I'm curious. Jim said he's currently reading A Man Who's Going Down the Road by Otar Chiladze and Ali Indino by Kurban Said. Two Georgian books, I'm guessing. Otar Chiladze. I don't know if it's Georgian. That sounds more like African to me. The DZ is throwing me, honestly. Shannon says Kenny and Norwood, I believe, are indie, but not sure about Mercedes. Okay. Nice. Also, Granny, Iliko, Ilarion, and I by Nodar Dumbadze. Okay, that's the same ending. Is that a Georgian name ending? That would be good to know. Shannon says yes, all romantic books. Nice. Yeah, I've got historical mystery, historical romance, historical mystery, decluttering, nonfiction, historical something. It's on my Kindle, so I can't see it. And then time travel, historical romance, but contemporary. So, yeah, that's where my brain's been going these days. Chiladze is Georgian. Then I'm probably pronouncing it very wrong. Adje. I'm gonna guess it's Chiladje instead. Instead of ads, adze. Wow. Okay. All right. I always think it's interesting to be able to recognize names and where they come from, like suffixes and certain consonant combinations. I like knowing that stuff. So most Georgian names end in ze or shvili. And I knew the shvili one because I've heard you mention those authors before, but I didn't know the other one. So good to learn. Some end in Iani, but that is more Armenian. Huh. The I at the end is probably what makes it Georgian because I always know that IAN is Armenian here in the States. Okay, so I gave the announcements, I gave the current reads, and all that is left is to say I look forward to seeing you guys on the Sunday wrap up. Thank you for visiting during the productivity stream. I got through 4 sprints with you guys, which is amazing. I know it cuts it a little close, but I'm glad you're here for it. And I hope you got your dev edits or reading or whatever you needed to get done at work. And thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again soon, and happy reading and writing until then.